Hello students, this is the second part of the video of chapter 5 science class 6. Alright, so we left where on sedimentation and decantation. Now we'll start with application of methods of separation obtaining drinking water. Tap water supplied to our homes is first clean and in the waterworks. So the water, I told you earlier also that the water which we get for our daily use and for our drinking purposes, it comes from the river and underground water. So first it gets filtered by machines, and where the waterworks are done, it gets first cleaned and filtered, and then it comes in our house. Sedimentation and decantation is first done to remove the larger particles of the solid impurities. So the first process which the water goes through is by sedimentation and decantation. Through this process, the larger particles which are present in the water gets separated from the water and it gets cleaned. Alum is then added to the water to separate the smaller particles by loading. So when the alum is added to the water, the particles get attached to the alum, get dissolved, get attached to the alum, and the particles becomes heavy. So after that, the sedimentation and decantation process is done to clean the water. The water is then filtered by passing it through sand filters. So after adding alum, the dirt particles becomes heavier, and then it gets filtered. All right. Germs are killed by adding chlorine to the water. Chlorine is a chemical thing which is added in the water, and then the germs gets killed. Separating soluble solids from liquids. Soluble means which particles which can be dissolved in water. Alright. Insoluble, which cannot be dissolved in water. Evaporation. We can separate common salt dissolved in water by evaporation. Evaporation is a process in which water changes into water vapor. So taking out salt from the sea and then leaving it under the sunlight, the water which is present in the salt gets evaporated in the in the environment, and the common salt, the salt which we use, gets separated from the water. Sea water contains a lot of salt. I told you about this. Distillation. Distillation is a method by obtaining pure liquid from a solution. Here, distillation is a process by which we obtain pure liquid from a solution. The solution is heated so that the liquid evaporates. The vapors are then cooled. Then they condense to give the pure liquid. How we get a pure liquid? We get it by a process of distillation in which we give heat to the liquid. The heat gets evaporated, and then that evaporated that evaporated water gets, again condensed. Means it again changes into water. That water vapor get condensed and it again changes into water. That is known as the pure form of water, pure form of a solution. Distilled water is used in laboratories, is obtained in this way. A special apparatus is used to get distilled water. Water containing dissolved impurities is kept in a flask. So mainly these distilled water means pure form of the water. It is used in batteries, laboratories. We cannot intake distilled or pure water. Alright. An apparatus called the Liebig's condenser is fitted to the flask to cool the water vapor. Cold water is made to flow through the condenser. So this apparatus is present in the laboratory. Through this, the water gets distilled and the pure form of water obtained. As the water in the flask is heated, it evaporates, the water vapor cools and condenses in Liebig's condenser. So through this apparatus, we can obtain pure form of water. Separating liquids. You've seen that liquids may be miscible or immiscible. Miscible means which can be mixed in water, and those immiscible, which the particles of which liquid cannot be mixed in water. If you vigorously mix oil and water in a beaker and let the beaker stand for some time, the oil of the water will separate. So those substances which cannot be dissolved in water, that is known as immiscible, and those which can be dissolved, which can be mixed with water, those are known as miscible liquids. So water and oil, these cannot get mixed together, these are known as immiscible. Separating funnel. Separating funnel is used to separate a mixture or of two immiscible liquids. So those which cannot mix together, these can be also separated. A tool is used which is known as separating funnel. Separating funnel is used to separate the two immiscible liquids. Two immiscible liquids means those immiscible liquids means which cannot get mixed together. Separating miscible liquids. Now these miscible liquids, they are bit different to separated because they get mixed with each other. Fractional distillation. Two miscible liquids that have different boiling points, for example water and alcohol, can be separated by a process called fractional distillation. So those liquids which have different boiling points, those form of liquids which have different boiling points, they can be also separated by a process which is known as fractional distillation. Alright, the mixture of water and alcohol is heated to the boiling point of alcohol, which is lower than the boiling point of water. The alcohol evaporates and is collected by condensation. The water remains in the flask. Fractional distillation is a process in which we give heat to the liquid in which the substances have different boiling point. Like water has different boiling point and alcohol has different boiling point. So when we give heat to alcohol, to the mixture of alcohol and water, the alcohol have different boiling points, so it gets evaporated and then condensed. So we got the alcohol part means separated from the water. Okay, now we'll read separation using more than one method. We'll read about solubility. Alright. The sugar you added to the water dissolved in the water. When a substance dissolves in the liquid, that it breaks up into its individual molecules. The sugar you added to the water dissolved in the water. When a substance dissolves in a liquid, it breaks up into its individual molecule. These molecules spread out in between the molecules of the liquid. So those which is soluble in water, the molecules of the substance loses its individual properties and gets mixed with the properties of the other liquids. Alright, that is why the water tastes sweet. Since individual molecules are too small to be seen, the sugar seemed to disappear in the water. The sugar and water together formed a solution. So to form a solution, it means solvent and solute. Solvent, the water here is called a solvent. When you means water and sugar is a mixture. Alright, it is a solution. Why? Because here the solute and solvent get mixed up and it became a solution. The result became a solution. The solvent means in which the particles get mixed, get dissolved. That is known as the liquid, that is known as the water. The water is here solvent. And the sugar substance that dissolves in water is known as solute. So the particles which is to be dissolved in the solvent means liquid, that is known as solute. A solvent and a solute together form the solution. So when you will mix the solvent with solute, it will form a mixture and a solution. Water can dissolve a large number of substances in it. It is therefore called the universal solvent. Water can dissolve a lot of substance in it, so it is called a universal solvent. Some substances such as wood or sand cannot dissolve in water, though others such as sugar and salt can be easily dissolved in water. Substances that dissolve readily in water are said to be soluble in water. Substances such as sand that do not dissolve in water are said to be insoluble. Like I told you, those substances which can be dissolved in water, these are known as soluble, and which cannot be dissolved in water, these are known as insoluble. Alright. During the formation of a solution, the molecules of the solute or solvent remain the same. It is easy to get back both in their original forms from the solution. You have already seen the salt can be obtained from a solution of salt and water by heating till the water evaporates. So these can also get separated, means we read about the processes through which we can separate the solvent from the solute. Alright. different quantities of different substances can dissolve in a fixed quantity of water. We say that different substances have different solubility in water. So different shape of substances, different quantity of substances can also be dissolved in water. The solubility of sugar in water increases with an increase in temperature. So when you will give temperature, when the temperature will increase, when the temperature of the water will increase, the solubility of sugar will also increase. The solubility of most other substances in water also increases with temperature. However, the solubility of salt increases very little with temperature. So when you will give temperature, when the temperature will increase, then the solubility of the substance will also increase. Now we'll read as the last topic of this chapter, which is importance of water as a solvent. It is because of its property of dissolving a large number of substances that water is so essential for life. As we know, water is very important for our daily life. We cannot live without water, and water is also known as universal solvent because it can dissolve a lot of substance from nature in it. Okay, it can dissolve a lot of substance in it. Our body cannot absorb food substances unless they are soluble in water. In the process of digestion also, food is reduced to simple substances that are soluble in water. So our body can also not, means the digestion can also not possible without water. Water is also important for our body. It helps in proper functioning of the body. Several waste materials produced in the body are dissolved in water and excreted. A number of chemical reactions occur inside body. They all occur in the presence of water. So in our body also a lot of chemical reaction happens. Like a lot of reaction happens inside our body which is very unknown to us, and they all are done in presence of water. Plants can absorb nutrients from the soil only if they are soluble in water. Minerals from the roots and food from the leaves are transported to different parts of the plant in the form of solutions in water. So water, here we will only learn that water is very important in every functioning, like functioning of environment, functioning of plants, functioning which is occurring inside our body, that also occurs in the presence of water. Plants also absorb nutrients from the soil through water. The food which is prepared by the plant, it gets throughout the plant through solutions of water only. Gases such as oxygen and carbon dioxide which are soluble in water are important for survival of aquatic life. So some gases are also important, means they can dissolve in water, and it is very important for aquatic plants, those plants which lives inside the water. They intake the oxygen from the water itself. Alright, the solubility of gases in water decreases with increase in temperature. So when we'll increase the temperature, the solubility of gases will decrease. The solubility of means some substances, when the temperature increases, it gets high, but the gases, when will give increase the temperature of water, then the gases will be less dissolved in water. Thus dissolved gases escape from water when it is heated. This can easily be seen by gently heating water in a pot. You will see small bubbles coming out much before water starts boiling. These are bubbles of air dissolved in water. So we read that when we'll increase the temperature, the solubility of gases will decrease. As we give heat to water, you can see like boiling, and you can see the water vapor coming out, and the gas escapes itself when we give heat to water. Alright, here your chapter is completed, students. I'll provide you question and answer through WhatsApp group. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.